Every day I refine top-grade pills, yet all I ever get to eat are the scraps left in the cauldron. Because every pill I finish mysteriously vanishes. At first I think a thief is robbing my pill room, but after stalking it out for days, no thief ever shows up. Yet the jade vial by my cauldron keeps turning up empty. Just when I'm completely stumped, I notice my neighbor, a poor scholar, has suddenly gotten plump and healthy. Faint traces of chi even swirl around him. To test my theory, today, as usual, I place my freshly made chi-nourishing pills into the jade vial, then peek through a crack in the wall, at the scholar's house next door. I see a girl in white, holding an empty bowl, murmuring under her breath. The next moment a round pill appears out of thin air in the bowl. She looks at the chi-nourishing pill with delight. She quickly tips it into a jade box beside her, then keeps chanting. On my side of the wall I jump up and rush into my own pill room, my eyes lock onto the vial, now scraping the bottom. Only a thin layer of pills remains. And right before my eyes, the last 3 chi-nourishing pills disappear, one by one. Not a single one left, cleaner than a scraped cauldron. I dash back to the crack in the wall. Through that near-invisible hole, I see the girl's bowl, sure enough, filled to the brim with 7 or 8 pills. Damn it! She's really trying to end my cultivation path, not leaving me a single way out. Before I finish cursing, I feel a tug right beside me. Before I can react, the last batch of pills fresh from the cauldron vanishes too. Soon after, the smell of medicine drifts over from next door. The girl refines the pills once more, then transforms into a snow-white fox. She hops obediently into a cage nearby. I glare hard at the fox next door, fury burning in my eyes. Damn you, old Jang. If he just turned that fox into a fur coat back then, none of this would be happening. It all started months ago, on a rainy night. Old Jang, the hunter next door, caught a white fox up in the mountains. He'd planned to turn it into a fur collar. But that same night, for some reason, the penniless scholar next door sold off his 2 measly acres of farmland just to buy that fox. And ever since that fox moved in to repay its debt, my miserable life began. Somehow, that fox found out I'm an alchemist, and started stealing my pills every single day. I'd become fate's designated errand boy. Every chi-nourishing pill I sweat and burn through herbs to make ends up feeding the man and the beast next door. Smelling the medicine drifting from their house, I quickly stuff sand into the crack, terrified the fox spirit will catch me spying. Then I run my hand over my empty pill room, grief and rage in my eyes. I scrimp and save to buy herbs, pour my heart into every batch, and it all ends up serving someone else. But how do I get rid of this fox spirit? I have no plan. This is a fox spirit that wields real sorcery. If it doesn't come after me, I should count my blessings. I have no way to kill a demon. Just as I'm about to storm off in frustration, I freeze. I turn back to where the pills vanished from the cauldron. There's a bead the size of a pigeon's egg, glowing with a soft blue-green light. And more importantly, floating above the bead are the words, +40. At that exact moment, my vision blurs, and a panel pops up. Name, Danksun. Skills. None. XP. 0. A monster has dropped XP. Collect it. Collect, I say without thinking twice. The instant I speak, the bead on the ground vanishes, and the system panel flickers. Name, Danksun. Skills. None. XP. 40, I stare at my new system, grinning, forcing myself to stay calm. I started testing the system. It turns out wherever something unnatural passes, XP and skills can drop. All I have to do is collect the XP, and pour it straight into a skill, but my eyes land on my empty skill list. I can't help but seethe. What good is a system full of XP with no skill to spend it on? But after thinking it over, I realize if the fox spirit can drop XP, maybe it can drop a skill too. I have no way to take the fox on right now, but now that I have the system, my day will come sooner or later. I run my hand over the empty recipe stand, grab my hoe and basket, and head into the mountains. The neighbors have eaten their fill of pills. I still have to gather herbs and refine more. Before long, I find a 30-year-old Lingji mushroom, and head back toward the village. But at the village entrance, I stopped dead. A man in coarse hemp robes walks toward me, cradling a snow-white fox. He's tall and fair-faced, faint waves of chi rippling around him. My arch-enemy, the poor scholar next door, Yenji.
Well, if it isn't Deng Xin. Why so sallow and thin? Don't tell me alchemy can't even feed you.
Yenji stops right in front of me, eyes full of mockery. I let out a cold snort, wary of the fox spirit's power, unsure whether to snap back. Before I can decide, Yenji has already walked past me.
Useless. The little fox in his arms looks at me with mocking eyes too.
Her sharp gaze full of an intelligence that's almost human, as if to say, your pills taste great. I watch the two of them walk away, and spit hard on the ground.
Just wait.
One day, I'm turning you into a fur coat. Right as I'm muttering this to myself, my vision blurs again, and I see a burst of blue-green light drop from the fox spirit's body.
Neither Yenji nor the fox seem to notice the light at all. Another drop.
I hurry over to the glowing bead, eager to see what good loot the fox spirit dropped this time. But when I get a closer look, my heart sinks a little.
Just XP again. The bead reads +5, not the alchemy skill I'm after.
Still, I shake it off quickly.
Something is better than nothing.
Once I have a skill, every point of XP will matter.
No harm in stockpiling now. I collected the XP. The panel now reads XP 45.
I carry the Lingji back to my pill room, and set it beside the cauldron, then sit in the corner, eyes fixed quietly on the mushroom.
I don't have to wait long.
In the next instant the Lingji on the table vanishes into thin air, leaving only a blue-green bead behind.
My teeth grind with fury. I can even hear a faint complaint drifting over from next door. Only 30 years old this time? That shabby alchemist next door is getting lazier and lazier. Can't even be bothered to gather a century-old one. Now I have to refine out the impurities myself.
Listening to that faint, ungrateful grumbling, I quietly go collect the XP, my brow twitching with rage.
This is too much. Absolutely too much.
After collecting the XP, I stand at the wall and carefully peer through the hole. Next door 2 oil lamps are lit, but the poor scholar is not home. The girl in white forms hand seals, using pill fire to burn away the Lingji's impurities. Soon, she pours the refined Lingji essence into a jade vial.
She turns back into the white fox and hops onto the bed.
Just then, footsteps sound outside, and the poor scholar Yenji walks in, carrying a bucket of water.
He looks at the Lingji essence in the vial on the table. Whichever passing immortal blessed me with this, I offer my thanks.
Though sending me Lingji essence every single day, I can barely keep up. If tomorrow brings a pearl fruit instead, all the better.
Thank you, immortal master.
After his little show of gratitude, the scholar downs the Lingji essence in one gulp, then lets the fox lick up the last few drops.
He should be thanking me.
I grind my back teeth so hard I nearly crack them. After drinking the essence, the scholar clears the table and sits at his worn-out desk. The little fox appears out of nowhere, carrying a sheet of gold leaf in her mouth, and hops into his lap.
All right, it's time for our nightly reading.
Holding the fox, the scholar notices the gold leaf page she's brought and examines it for a moment, stunned.
A page made of pure gold?
That's absurdly extravagant.
What kind of pill recipe would need to be engraved on gold? Where did you dig this up, little one? The scholar studies the gold leaf recipe with curiosity. Let's see what it says. This looks like script from the primordial age.
Good thing my teacher covered this recently. Spying from next door, I stare at the golden page, and suddenly see 2 golden orbs of skill points drop from it.
I freeze in surprise. That gold leaf page is no ordinary thing.
After studying it a while longer, the scholar strokes the fox's head.
It's just some pretentious recipe. Talking about the path of the golden core, ascending in broad daylight. What nonsense! A worthless garbage recipe. But the fox won't let it go, whimpering and bouncing back and forth, clearly insistent. Seeing this, the scholar sighs. Alright. If you want to hear it, I'll read it to you. With that, he begins to read the recipe on the gold leaf aloud. It's their little routine. The fox spirit often digs up recipe texts from who knows which dynasty, and since she can't read, she reads them aloud just for her. As his recitation rings out, my vision suddenly flickers with light. Skills. Path of the Golden Core fragment. Tear a broken piece of a primordial pill scripture. Investing points may trigger mysterious changes. I actually got an alchemy skill to drop. Staring at my system, a grin spreads across my face. Never expected tonight's spine to pay off like this. Without a second thought, I poured my points straight into it. The next moment, the panel updates. Skills. Path of the Golden Core 0.5. XP. 40. A sudden warmth floods my body, and a stream of energy pools in my core. Countless insights on alchemy rush into my mind. The properties of herbs, the mastery of fire and heat of clarity, like being reborn. I sifted through the flood of alchemical knowledge in my head, utterly stunned. This skill just handed me a flash of pure enlightenment. The path of the Golden Core truly lives up to being a primordial scripture. Looks like I'll need to stockpile more XP. I check how much the next level requires, and it's 50 points. I glance again at the XP dropping from the recipe next door, eyes burning with want. To level up, along with those 2 orbs still sitting in that room, it should be just enough. I carefully plug the hole in the wall, then lean against it, planning to find a chance to collect those 2 golden orbs. Wonder if Yenji and the fox spirit will head to the school again tomorrow. The next day, I don't rush out. Instead, I wait for the fox spirit and the bookworm to leave first, before pulling open the crack in the wall to peek through. The gold leaf recipe is nowhere in sight, but the 2 glittering orbs of XP are still sitting right there. I immediately stepped out of my courtyard, and watched from a distance as Yenji and the fox disappear behind the village. I quickly hop the wall and slip into the fox spirit's house. My eyes widen at the 2 orbs. Each one reads, XP plus 50. What on earth is that gold leaf recipe? It's dropping more XP than the fox spirit itself. I collect the XP without hesitation, but I don't leave just yet. Greed stirs in my heart. If I steal that gold leaf recipe, could I keep studying it and farming XP forever? After a long moment of thought, reason wins out over greed. The fox spirit isn't someone I can afford to cross yet. Once my alchemy skill grows strong enough, that gold leaf recipe will be mine sooner or later. Back at home, I check the system. My XP now stands at 140. Level up. I stare at the system, anticipation in my eyes. My points instantly drain away, and the whole panel updates. Skills. Path of the Golden Core minor success. Remaining XP 90. A thunderclap rings through my mind, and a tidal wave of alchemical insight crashes in. My understanding of the alchemic the path leaps up several levels in an instant. I close my eyes, and in a daze I seem to glimpse the flow of chi through heaven and earth, the distribution of essence within every herb, but soon a fog rolls through my mind, blocking out any deeper alchemical insight. I open my eyes. Uncertainty and wonder flickering across my face. It seems leveling up the skill can push the path of the Golden Core further and further. One day, I'm bound to become a Grand Master of Alchemy, but the next level demands 500 XP. That's no small number. Still, after thinking it over, I decide I can't afford to wait. As a primordial scripture, the path of the Golden Core must hold even greater power at higher levels. I just haven't unlocked it yet. I pick up my hone basket and head into the mountains, my mind heavy with thought. After all, I still need herbs for today's batch of pills. I quickly gather a few spirit herbs and stumble upon a century-old golden root. Right there in the mountains, I break off a piece and swallow it to refine on the spot. A rush of chi floods my body. I look over the rest of the golden root and the herbs, and after a moment's hesitation, tuck the golden root carefully inside my robe before heading home with the herbs. I know the herbs won't stay mine for long. That damned fox spirit will never let me keep them, so I don't even bother processing them. I just hope she'll show some decency and leave me the golden root. Of course, the most important thing is that she never finds it at all.
Muttering to myself, I carefully wrap the golden root in cloth, seal my medicine box with the wind chime technique, and tuck the root into my robe.
By the time I get home, it's already noon.
At the sound of my door, the window next door bursts open, and a furry white head pokes out, craning eagerly to watch me. The moment she spots the herbs in my hands, her eyes light up, practically drooling. Watching her wait so eagerly, my liver aches with sheer frustration.
This fox spirit is infuriating, brazen beyond belief, utterly shameless.
My teeth itch with rage, but I keep a straight face and walk into the pill room. Set the herbs beside the cauldron this time. I deliberately lock them in the cabinet, then sit calmly beside it, quietly watching the cabinet, waiting for XP to drop.
It's not every time she steals something that XP actually shows up.
I still haven't figured out the pattern behind the drops, otherwise it wouldn't have taken 3 months to gather just 40 XP.
Just as I'm dozing off from the wait,
the inside of the path of the golden core suddenly stirs on its own inside me, a burst of heat jolting me awake. I instinctively lift my head, my pupils shrinking in shock, then quickly masking my reaction. A girl in white, a sly grin on her face, steps straight through the wall, heading straight for my cabinet. But just as she forms the seal to unlock it, she suddenly turns and meets my eyes. She flinched, started, jumping back 2 steps like a thief caught red-handed.
"Can this kid actually see me?" she mutters.
My heart leaps into my throat. I force myself to relax, pretending not to notice her, staring past her at the cabinet instead.
Gritting my teeth inwardly. Let's see exactly how my herbs disappear. Still uneasy, she circles around me a few times.
But seeing me still fixed intently on the cabinet, apparently unaware of her, she finally relaxes and moves to unseal the lock when suddenly her nose twitches. She seems to catch a scent and starts sniffing her way, drawing closer and closer to me, her eyes locked onto my chest.
Well, she snaps. Sly as a demon, aren't you? Learn to hide things now too.
You clearly got your hands on a century-old golden root, and you dare keep it from your dear madam, naughty boy. I don't dare move my eyes, keeping them fixed on the cabinet across the room, even with the fox spirit right in front of me, groaning inwardly. Damn it, this FOX spirit is way too sharp for her own good.
She caught it just like that. My century-old golden root is probably a lost cause. Guess I'll have to refine it slowly tonight. And wait, what form is this fox in right now? An out-of-body soul, I wonder to myself. The fox spirit eyes my chest, and without a shred of hesitation reaches her pale little hands straight into my robe. Buzz the
instant her slender fingers brush my clothes. The inside of the path of the golden core suddenly stirs inside me on its own. Golden light bursts visibly from every pore of my body. The moment she touches the light, she screams in pain and is blasted back to her true form, shrinking from a beautiful young woman into a thumb-sized ghostly fox. She flees in a panic back to the house next door. From inside comes the pained yelping of a fox, leaving me utterly stunned, frozen by what just happened.
What was that? My path of the golden core can actually suppress the fox spirit?
I sit there in shock, staring at the golden light still fading from my body, disbelief written across my face. All my earlier scorn for the system melts into pure, wild joy.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. My path of the golden core can actually suppress a demon.
I feel like I can take on the world right now, especially when I spot the bead on the ground.
My eyes light up even more. XP plus 50. XP plus 50. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Maybe today's just my lucky day. Name, Danksun. Skill, Path to the Golden Core Minor Success. XP 140. Could it be that the golden light actually hurt the fox spirit and that's why it dropped more XP? I'm no fool. Looking at the boosted XP, a theory forms in my mind. And as thoughts race through my head, suddenly a beautiful girl bursts back through the wall. She looks furious, yet her lips tremble like she's been terribly wronged, eyes brimming with tears, as if I'm some unforgivable villain who's just committed the worst of crimes. My heart pounds with nerves,
but I keep my face calm, as though I haven't even noticed her, and just keep staring at my own cabinet, panicking on the inside. Is this fox spirit about to lash out and try to kill me out of spite? Should I strike first? But how would I even do that? Charge at her covered in golden light? I watch her, she's quick and nimble, able to pass through solid matter. I'd never catch her. She stares at the golden light swirling around my body, eyes full of greed and confusion, but she doesn't dare come any closer to the light. All she can do is curse. Ha! You damned man, what in the world is this thing? It actually hurts my soul. You, a mere alchemist. How did you cultivate a Buddhist guardian light? The fox spirit, seething, circles around me once, then finally snatches up a nearby cauldron lid. She swings it wildly at my head. It connects. Oh! A lump swells on my forehead instantly. The golden light does nothing against physical blows. My forehead swells up right away. You damned man, still pretending you don't know who's been stealing your pills. Every single time I slip out of my body to grab them, I've seen you spying through that crack. I just played dumb to mess with you. You lying man. Bad man. Damn bad man. All you do is bully poor little me. I'll beat you to death. She keeps swinging and cursing, clearly genuinely furious now, grabbing a pestle and hurling it at me next. I don't dodge this one either. Everything goes black for a second. Seeing her wind up for another hit, I know I can't take much more of this. If this keeps up, she's going to beat me to death sooner or later. So I fake being in agony, rolling across the floor of the pill room straight toward her. She jumps back, face pale with fright, wary of the golden light still clinging to my body, and reluctantly grabs the herbs and storms off. Once she's gone, I stop rolling around, and stare at where the herbs used to be, a thoughtful look crossing my face. So it seems my spying was noticed by the fox spirit long ago. She'd just been playing dumb to toy with me. My golden light seems able to suppress and harm her on the level of her very soul, but it's useless against physical force. I'd assumed before that she was casting a moving spell, but clearly I was wrong. She's actually been leaving her body entirely. I'm secretly puzzled. Why leave her body instead of just casting real sorcery? Then it hits me, I remember how. Old Zhang once caught this fox spirit, nearly skinning her alive for a fur coat. Could it be she suffered serious injuries back then, and can no longer cast real sorcery, which is why she risks leaving her body just to move things around? Or, is there some other reason? I make my way back to the crack in the wall, staring at it, hesitating for a long time, my heart full of weariness. I'm not sure whether to keep watching. I'm genuinely curious about this spirit. I want to use this chance to learn more about her, and if I don't look, I'd seem guilty, like I'm hiding something. But if I do look, I risk angering her even further. After a moment's hesitation, I decide to pull the crack open anyway, and spy on her in secret, since she already knows what I've been doing. If I stop watching now, it'll only look like I'm afraid of her, like I've got something to hide. I carefully scrape away the sand, and peer through the crack. Next door, the little white fox is still curled up in her nest, while a slightly translucent girl in white works listlessly on the herbs in her hands, grumbling under her breath. That damned man. That damned alchemist actually hurting poor little me's soul. I will never let this go. I'll punish you on behalf of all demonkind. It took me forever to cultivate to the point of leaving my body, right on the verge of rebuilding my flesh, and you jerk, hurt me with that light and set me back who knows how much. You're truly the worst. She mutters furiously to herself, dropping madam for something far less polite. Still, that kid's golden light is something else. Might actually come in handy though. Back in that ancient tomb I dug up a recipe page. There's a nasty thing living inside that tomb. Her eyes flick with a sudden idea, a sly glint flashing behind them. Her hands move fast, breathing something over the herbs, and soon the herbs are fully refined. She starts brewing, still grumbling. Mid-brew, she suddenly glances over at the crack in the wall, a sly look in her eyes. The next instant, as if by accident, she flicks her arm, and a scalding drop of pill liquid shoots straight toward the crack. I don't close my eyes in time.
I cry out and collapse onto the floor. I clap a hand over my mouth in agony, not daring to make a sound, writhing on the ground in pain, cursing over and over that damned fox spirit did that on purpose. She did it just to get back at me. After a long time, the pain finally fades. I open my swollen eyes. That eye hasn't gone blind, but my vision's blurry, clearly burnt by the scalding liquid. Still, it wasn't a total loss. At least I've learned a bit more about her. Before, her soul used to look just like a real person. Now it looks like a hollow, ghostly wisp. Clearly, my golden light hurt her far more than I realized. A bit of confidence stirs in me. When it comes to the fox spirit, I'm no longer some defenseless pushover. But her ability to control objects through her soul still leaves me shaken. This time it was a cauldron lid. Next time it could be the whole cauldron. And since her soul can pass through solid matter, there's really no defending against it. Fine. For the sake of my skill points, I'll swallow my pride. I muttered this to myself, my ego already inflating enough to promote myself to the fox spirit's elder grandfather even. Of course, I've thought about running, slipping free of her control and starting fresh somewhere else. But I simply can't escape. Back when I first realized she was stealing my pills, I did try to run. But halfway there, I ran into a certain snow-white fox by chance. She simply strolled past in front of me, and I found myself scrambling straight back home. Looking back now, that was clearly her toying with me, training me into her personal, unpaid alchemist to keep her fed. An unspoken threat is the most powerful kind, and the most terrifying too. Without a doubt, I got scared. I understood that was her warning to me, and I never tried running again after that. But now, knowing I have some way to push back against her, even just a little, I can't help but feel pleased. My mood lifts. I'm no longer desperate to fight her head on. Now that I have the system, I just need to lie low, quietly build myself up, and farm XP to level up my alchemy. Why worry about handling her later? The price is just brewing pills to feed her a while longer. It's no big deal. I'm known as a skilled little alchemist, after all. As long as it earns me XP, I'd worship that fox spirit like my own ancestor if I had to. But as they say, the tree wants stillness while the wind won't stop. I want to lie low and level up, but the fox spirit won't allow it. I'd figure that as long as I kept gathering herbs, life would settle into a routine. But on the third day, when I head back into the mountains, I run into something strange almost right away. That day, I spent hours gathering herbs, about to head home empty-handed, when a spirit bird slams straight into a tree right in front of me. It crashes to the ground, wing broken. I'm thrilled, moving in for the easy catch, when the bird thrashes its broken wing and darts off through the forest. I chased after it at once. It can't fly far, but it weaves through the brush and dead branches, and I chase it for 2 full hours before it finally ducks into an earthen hole. The opening's small, about the size of a badger's den. Damn, how does this bird have this much stamina running for 2 whole hours? Ha! Lucky little thing. Grumbling, I turn to leave, when I catch a glimpse of something in the dark depths of the hole. Flickers of blue-green light. Whoa! That's the glow of XP. Why would there be XP inside this hole? Is this bird some kind of demon too? There's also a fading fox print on the ground. I hesitate. A huge stockpile of XP right in front of me. If I collect it all, the path to the golden core is sure to level up. Only by strengthening my alchemy path will I have the courage to face that fox spirit next door. No risk. No reward. Just then, I spot an ancient jade piece at the mouth of the hole, carved entirely from deep green jade in the shape of a cauldron. Nothing like jade from this era. Could this hole lead to some ancient cultivator's cave? I don't hesitate any longer. I turn back for home to grab my digging tools. On the way, I notice an extra spirit herb growing in my herb field. Today's luck is off the charts. Not only did I awaken the system, but I've also found a new source of XP. Even the heavens seem to be on my side. I pluck off 1 leaf of the herb and swallow it to refine on the spot, replanting the rest in my field. Shouldering my hoe, I head back.
Right as I step into the courtyard, I see the fox spirit crouched at the window next door, neck stretched impossibly long. Seeing me carrying my hoe, her face twists into a look of disdain, and when she sees I haven't gathered much, her expression sours even further. Not until I set the few herbs I have down in the pill room does her seductive fox eyes finally soften into something like satisfaction, before she turns and heads back inside. Before long, the herbs vanish from my pill room, but no XP drops this time. Relying on the fox spirit for XP is unreliable, just as I thought. That ancient cultivator's cave, I have to dig it out. I circle the yard once, grab my Luoyang spade, and head back into the mountains. At the mouth of the hole, the spirit bird is gone. It must have escaped through the tunnel, and if it managed to get out, that means it's probably safe down there. Without hesitation, I started digging. Just half an hour in, the system panel pops up in front of me. XP discovered. Collect it? Collect. My XP shoots up rapidly. By noon, I've dug out a sizable pit right where I'm standing. Let's see how much XP I've got now. Name, Danksun. Skill, Path to the Golden Core, minor success. XP 350. Only 350, just 150 more, and I can level up. I glance at the sky. Still 2 hours of daylight left. I keep digging, and finally at some point, I stop, hoe in hand. Staring hard at the panel. Level up. A vast, sweeping wave of alchemical insight floods into my mind like a tide. The path of the golden core rises from minor success to great success. Golden light bursts from my entire body, and a natural fragrance of pill essence spreads outward. Countless alchemical methods flooded through my mind's secret fire control techniques, herb pairing formulas flooding in like sudden clarity. But that grand sweeping sense of the alchemic path fades in an instant, most of the insight swallowed back into fog. I look at the XP on the panel. My teeth ache just looking at it. Great success to perfection needs a staggering 5,000 points. I sigh, shouldering my hoe and heading home. Digging is exhausting, and I still need a way to haul the dirt out. That's when I think back to the Luoyang spade from my past life. That evening, I head to Old Yung's forge. Old Yung, I call out. I go up into the mountains to gather herbs, and I need some special tools made. Working with the Yung family is unavoidable. Youngshin's here. What are we forging this time? Old Young's son steps out. This one's a bit different from before, I tell him, sketching the design of the Luoyang spade in the dirt. It's not an ordinary hoe, so it shouldn't be too hard to forge. It's actually similar to a common shovel, just with a narrower, curved blade. What kind of contraption is this? This shovel looks awfully strange. It's just to make digging up herbs easier when I'm out in the mountains. Fair enough, I suppose. Come by tomorrow and it'll be ready. Thanks, Old Yung. What do I owe you for it? Just brew me a batch of chi-nourishing pills sometime. I'm about to leave when Old Yung grabs my arm. Wait, don't go yet, I've got something good here. What kind of thing? He shuts the door, drags a battered chest out from under the bed, and opens it. Are you interested? If you want it, I'll cut you a deal. Inside the chest is a sharpened longsword and a dozen or so arrowheads. Old Yung, are you out of your mind? This is a beheading offense. These iron pieces I've been quietly skimming off the top of that big client's orders a little at a time. Take a look, see if you want them. If not, I'll sell them off elsewhere. Don't say I didn't think of you first. Anytime there's something good going, you're the first person I think of. I want them, of course I do, but you know my finances aren't great. I'm worried I can't afford the price. We live in the same village, money's not the issue, we'll figure it out over time, just keep brewing me pills now and then. I take the goods, then say seriously, Old Yung, there's something I'm not sure I should say. What is it? Given how close we are, just say it. Swords or contraband? How many blades has this client asked you to forge exactly? If this ever comes to light, that client of yours might just silence you for good. You think I don't know how dangerous this is?
Do you really think a lowly village blacksmith like me ever had the choice to say no? My heart sinks. The arrowheads are far too conspicuous.
Better to melt them down into iron pellets and forge a strong slingshot instead. That should be enough for self-defense.
As for wolves and tigers, traps will I do the job better anyway.
You're always so careful, kid.
I'll forge it tonight and have it ready by tomorrow.
But you'll need to figure out the elastic band for the slingshot yourself.
Finding something strong enough to launch iron pellets won't be easy. Leave the pouch to me. I've got a way to handle that.
Also, could you set aside some wire for me, too?
Setting traps in the mountains eats through wire fast.
A few iron pipes as well, if you can.
Back home, I peek through the crack in the wall.
Yenji is reading, the fox spirit perched on the table, listening intently.
Faint demonic energy swirling around her.
Suddenly, the golden light within me flickers. And the fox spirit before my eyes is now wrapped in a layer of blue-green energy threaded through with strands of dark demonic
mist. What is that? I look over at Yenji.
There's a faint, wispy trace of scholarly aura around him, too, though it's been tainted and muddied by demonic energy.
Is that demonic energy? Or is the fox spirit actually drawing the scholarly aura out of him?
Early the next morning, a voice calls out from outside.
Dang son, time to head up the mountain and gather herbs. I scrambled up. Coming.
It's old Zhang calling for me, the village's old hunter, someone I owe a great debt to. Ever since he learned my pills were being stolen, he's often taken me up the mountain, teaching me to identify spirit herbs.
I stepped outside, glancing at old Zhang.
No strange energy around him, nothing unusual at all. In the courtyard next door, the fox spirit crouches by the wall, glaring at the two of us with open hostility.
Let's get going then, we should head up quickly.
I need to stop by old Zhang's first to pick up some tools today.
Hold on, old Zhang. I run over to the forge. I'm here to pick up my order.
Old Zhang hands me a bag of iron pellets and a slingshot frame.
Here are your pellets, 300 of them, use them sparingly.
He pulls out the slingshot.
Frame and the spade, too.
I hammered the slingshot frame out myself, by hand.
Sturdy enough to last your grandkids. Take it home and finish the polishing yourself. I stayed up half the night working on your stuff. I take the tools and go find old Zhang. Let's head up together.
On the way, old Zhang speaks up. You know, your alchemy skills keep getting sharper and sharper. Your herb gathering skills have surpassed even mine now.
That's all thanks to your teaching, old Zhang.
What little alchemy I know barely keeps me from starving. You've surpassed your teacher, kid. When it comes to brewing chi-nourishing pills, there's no way I can match you. I really don't know what's inside that head of yours brewing pills that pure.
Your skills are something I could never match either, old Zhang. You're far too modest.
Oh, by the way, landlord Lee's raising the rent again this year, seems like.
Better get prepared ahead of time. Whatever you do, don't come up short on rent.
That pill room you're renting belongs to landlord Lee, after all.
My brow furrows. Raising the rent again? Last year it already went up to 3 taels of silver. Keep raising it like this, and how are ordinary folks supposed to survive?
Sure, the room belongs to him, but the pills I brew certainly don't.
This is downright unreasonable. But when the odds are stacked against you, what choice is there but to endure it? After parting ways, I head back to the tunnel and keep digging.
As I dig deeper, a frost begins to form on the walls of the tunnel, the soil turning frozen and hard.
I can't help but hesitate.
But looking at the XP glowing deeper inside, I grit my teeth and keep digging. Suddenly the spade strikes something solid.
A metallic clang rings out. There's some kind of relic buried underground.
I clear away the dirt and uncover an ancient weathered cauldron, engraved with mysterious patterns and alchemical runes. I can't decipher them, but I sense these runes might be tied to some far deeper level of the alchemic path. The next day, I dig up a good amount of XP again. On the way back to the village I pass a donkey cart, and the old farmer leading it eyes the herbs in my hands. Hey,
Are those herbs for sale? Sure, they're for sale. How much are you offering? 600 coppers and they're yours. The old farmer pays and drives off. Back home, the fox spirit steals what's left of my herbs, as usual. Frustrated and helpless, I mutter to myself, just wait. Sooner or later, I'm going to catch you, and then it'll be your turn to gather herbs and brew pills for me every single day. On the third day, I brew another batch of exceptionally high-quality nourishing pills, planning to give them to old Zhang to settle my debt. But before I even reach the forge, I see 2 donkey carts parked outside, several old farmers stepping out carrying armfuls of straw. Ha! Looks like old Zhang's got visitors. One of the farmers is just reaching into the straw for something. An older man grabs my arm. It's the farmer who bought spirit herbs from me last time. Don't worry. This is the village's alchemist. I've seen him before. He lowers his voice. My eyes narrow. Why would old Zhang's house have straw bundles? This is clearly a disguise. Something's wrapped inside, maybe weapons. These men aren't ordinary. But I have the system on my side. My pill crafting grows stronger every day, and the golden core light protects me. Once I reach great success, that's when I'll deal with that fox spirit. As for these mysterious strangers, as long as they don't cross me, I won't bother with them. Right now, the most important thing is to keep digging into that ancient cultivator's cave and gather more XP. I need to push the path of the golden core to perfection. I walk into the shop, pretending to be calm. I set the bottle of nourishing pills on the table. Old Zhang, here are this batch's pills. To cover what I owe you. Old Zhang's eyes light up. He pulls the stopper and sniffs. His face shows surprise. Such pure fragrance, dang son. Your alchemy keeps improving. You flatter me. My gaze drifts casually toward the old farmers. The straw bundles in their arms slip, slightly revealing what's clearly a sword hilt. Now I understand. I don't linger. I grab my Loyang spade and slingshot and take my leave. Back home, I peek through the crack in the wall right away. The fox spirit is sitting cross-legged on the bed next door. Blue demonic energy swirls around her. She's clearly healing. Yenji isn't home. He must be at school. I study the fox spirit closely. A faint black energy flickers beneath her aura. My heart stirs and I channel my golden core light. I focus and look closer. What I see makes me gasp. Her demonic energy is actually breaking apart from within. And that black energy is steadily corroding her demon core. No wonder she steals my nourishing pills every day. It's not just for cultivation. She's using the chi and the pills to suppress that strange black energy inside her. Well, this fox spirit is carrying a hidden wound. I can't help but smile inside. If that's the case, once my path of the golden core advances further, dealing with her will be even easier. Just then, the fox spirit's eyes snap open, staring straight at the crack in the wall. My heart jumps. I pull back fast. Spying again. One of these days I'll gouge your eyes out, comes the girl's furious voice from next door. I pretend not to hear. Grab my spade, sling on my basket, and head into the mountains again. Digging into that ancient cultivator's cave goes slower than I expected. The soil near the entrance is unusually hard. Every strike numbs my hands. After 3 full days of digging, I've advanced less than 20 feet. But these 3 days bring huge rewards. Name: Dank Sun. Skills: Path of the Golden Core, great success. Points: 1200D. 3 days of digging earns me 850 XP, but that's still far from the 5000 needed to level up. On the 4th day, I dig up something. It's a palm-sized jade slip, entirely emerald green and warm to the touch. I probe it with my golden core light and information floods into my mind. Beast contract technique fragment. Using blood essence as a medium, one can bind a spirit beast as a servant.
Once the contract succeeds, the beast's life and death rest entirely in the master's hands.
My hand trembles as I hold the jade slip. The beast contract technique. What does this mean? It means I can bind that damn fox spirit. Ha ha ha. The heavens are finally on my side. I laugh, throwing my head back.
My laughter echoes through the cave, but I quickly calm down. This technique is only a fragment, and it requires blood essence as a medium.
Two conditions stand between me and the contract.
First, raising the skill level.
Second, finding a chance to inject blood essence into the fox spirit. That crafty fox would never let me bind her willingly. No rush. I keep digging. By the 5th day, frost thickens on the cave walls.
A smell of decay fills the air.
I dig up a skeleton. He sits cross-legged, wearing a decayed Taoist robe.
Scattered nearby are broken pieces of magic artifacts.
This must be the cave's owner.
I search carefully around the skeleton and find 3 things: a storage pouch, a token, and a palm-sized bronze fragment.
The pouch is damaged.
Most of its contents crumble to dust. Only a bottle of pills and a few spirit stones remain.
I don't recognize the pills.
But the spirit stones are genuine 6 low-grade spirit stones.
Each one brims with dense chi. As for the token, the front bears the character town, and the back shows a terrain map.
The bronze fragment is the strangest of all, covered in dense, intricate runes. I channel my golden core light to examine it, but I can't make out anything.
TS fragment must be extraordinary. I pack everything away carefully. I keep digging. On the 6th day, I finally reached the heart of the cave.
It's a stone chamber, roughly 30 feet square, with a cauldron in the center.
It's the very cauldron I dug up before. Alchemy materials lie scattered all around it.
Most have decayed, but one spirit herb still holds onto life.
It's a fiery red lingji mushroom, growing out of a black stone. It radiates intense heat. A millennium fire lingji. I can hardly believe my luck.
This is a top-tier alchemy ingredient.
If refined into a pill, it could boost my cultivation dramatically.
I carefully take the fire lingji along with the black stone, and store them in my pouch.
Then I keep searching the chamber. In one corner, I find a hidden compartment holding 3 items: a pill recipe, a cultivation manual, and a letter. Its handwriting faded. I can just barely make out parts of it. My Taoist title is Qing Yun.
I cultivated for 120 years, forever stuck at the golden core stage. Then I stumbled into a forbidden ground.
There I found this bronze fragment.
Inscribed upon it is a primordial pill path,
named the Path of the Golden Core. But cultivating it requires one's own life essence as fuel. One misstep means death.
Now my lifespan nears its end. I leave this cave for whoever is fated to find it.
So the owner of this cave is Taoist Qing Yun.
And what's recorded on the bronze fragment is exactly the path of the golden core I'm cultivating. And the reason he perished is that something went wrong while cultivating it, and his life essence ran dry. Reading the letter, a cold sweat breaks over me. My own path of the golden core was leveled up directly through the system. If I'd cultivated it the normal way, I'd probably have met the same fate as Taoist Qing Yun.
The system really is overpowered.
Even a technique this deadly, it lets me skip straight past the danger.
After a moment of reflection, I pack away the pill recipe, and the manual too.
The recipe describes a pill called the foundation pill. It helps cultivators break through to the foundation establishment stage.
The manual is the Qing Yun technique. Taoist Qing Yun's own cultivation method. Its grade isn't low.
But compared to the path of the golden core, it falls far short. I search the chamber once more.
And once I'm sure nothing's left behind, I leave the cave. By the time I return to the village, it's already dark. As I step into the yard, I see the fox spirit crouched by the window next door.
Her sly fox eyes are locked on the basket on my back.
What are you staring at?
I didn't dig up any spirit herbs today, I say, irritated. Suspicion flickers in her eyes, but she says nothing. She turns and goes back inside. I walk into the pill room, close the door, and take out everything from my pouch. I lay it all out. The foundation pill recipe, the Qingyun technique, the Millennium Fire Lingji 6 spirit stones, a token, a bronze fragment, and the jade slip holding the beast contract technique. Any of these, out in the open, would drive cultivators mad with greed. Especially the foundation pill recipe. If word of it ever got out, no telling how many cultivators would come fighting for it. I need a chance to brew this foundation pill. Even though I have the path of the golden core skill, my actual cultivation is still stuck at chi refining. If I can take the foundation pill and break through to foundation establishment, dealing with the fox spirit will be far easier. But brewing the foundation pill needs many ingredients. I only have the Millennium Fire Lingji, the main one. The rest, I'll need to gather slowly. Over the following days I spend my days gathering herbs in the mountains and my nights cultivating the path of the golden core. I keep digging into the cave too, gathering XP along the way. Half a month later, I finally gather every ingredient needed for the foundation pill. Name, Danksun. Skills, Path of the Golden Core Great Success. Beast Contract Technique Novice. Points, 35 and 100. I put points into the Beast Contract Technique, raising it to Novice, spending 200 XP. At Novice level, I gain a basic understanding of how the contract works. Binding a spirit beast requires 3 conditions. First, the beast must be weakened. Second, blood essence must be forced into its body. Third, a secret method must activate the contract. The fox spirit already wounded by my golden core light is weak, and with that strange black energy inside her, now is the perfect time. But first, I need to brew the foundation pill. That night, I sealed the pill room and laid down a simple soundproof barrier. I started refining. My mastery at great success in the path of the golden core gives me control over alchemy like never before. The cauldron ignites. I add the ingredients one by one, my hands weaving seals in a blur. Formula after formula flows into the flames, the materials melting, purifying and fusing rapidly. The whole process flows smoothly, without a single hitch. 3 hours later, a fragrant aroma rises from the cauldron, a sign the foundation pill is nearly ready. I take a deep breath and channel the final sealing formula. The cauldron's lid flies open, and 3 glowing golden pills shoot out. They land in the jade vial in my hand. The foundation pill is complete. I can't wait, I pour one out. I swallow it. It dissolves instantly, and a surge of power explodes through my body. The energy floods every limb. I channel the path of the golden core, guiding the power through my meridians. 1 cycle, 2 cycles, 3 cycles. When the 49th cycle completes, a deep rumble echoes through my body, as if some restraint has just shattered. A powerful aura bursts from me. Every bottle and jar in the pill room rattles from the shockwave. Whoa, foundation establishment. I've finally broken through. I feel